Hi everyone, today I'm gonna show you how to make your own hair buttercream, and this time I've made 5 different versions so that it will help you decide which texture suits you the best. If you like DIYs and if you want to grow your hair longer, stronger and thicker, make sure to subscribe with notifications to be the first to know when I post a new video. Let's start with the first version of our buttercream. I'm gonna start by adding 2 big tablespoons of shea butter in a bowl. Shea butter is very soft and quite greasy. Then I'm gonna add 2 big tablespoons of mango butter. This butter is a little bit harder than shea butter and helps to counteract the greasiness of shea butter as well as other butters and oils. Then I'm gonna add the equivalent of 1 tablespoon of cacao butter. This butter is very hard. To finish, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm putting my bowl in a double boiler so that all my ingredients can melt and mix with one another. If you want to accelerate the process, you can use a fork, a spoon, or a spatula to break down the butters and mix from time to time. It's not really a double boiler because my pot is not heating on the stove. My pot is out of the stove because it was way more practical for me to do it that way. If you want to try this recipe, you can of course let your pot on the stove and add the ingredients one by one in your bowl. That way your butters will melt faster. Once everything is melted, remove the bowl from the double boiler and add 10 drops of vitamin E. Mix very well. Then, once your mixture has cooled down a little bit, pour everything in a jar. I'm using a plastic jar here, but it's best to use a glass jar. Then, put your jar in the freezer for a few hours. I'm gonna move on to the second version of my hair buttercream. I'm gonna add the same amount of shea butter, mango butter, cacao butter, and vitamin E to all the different versions of my hair buttercream. The only thing that varies is the amount of olive oil I'm gonna add to my different buttercreams. The more you add oils to your butters, the creamier they will become. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil for this version. Olive oil is one of my favorite oils for my hair. It contains oleic acid, linoleic acid, palmitic acid, polyphenols, vitamin E, squalene, and chlorophyll. Shea butter is very rich in oleic acid and stearic acid. It contains terpene alcohols that are antioxidants with anti-inflammatory properties. They also help to maintain skin's elasticity. Shea butter also contains phytosterols, vitamins A and E. Mango butter is very rich in oleic acid and stearic acid. Additionally, it contains phytosterols, oleic alcohol, squalene, and polyphenols. Polyphenols are very powerful antioxidants. Cacao butter is also very rich in oleic and stearic acids. It's also composed of phytosterols, squalene, and vitamin E. The third version of my hair buttercream is the one that I've shown you in one of my previous videos. You can check it out. I will put the link in the info card and the description box. So this time I'm adding 5 tablespoons of olive oil. That's why I put the number 5 on the jar's label. The version number 4 of my buttercream contains 10 tablespoons of olive oil. The last version of my buttercream contains 15 tablespoons of olive oil. The more you add oils, the creamier and the greasier your buttercream will be. However, mango butter and cacao butter help a lot to counteract the greasiness of some oils and butters, in that case, shea butter and olive oil. Also, this version has more oils, therefore the quantity is higher than the other buttercreams, so you will need to use several small jars or just one bigger jar. To give you an idea, it fills a jar of about 300 milliliters. This is how the butters look like after a few hours in the freezer. They have some moisture on top, so I'm gonna wait about 2 to 3 days for the water to evaporate before closing the jars. After 3 days, this is how my buttercreams look like. This is how the texture of the first version looks like. It's not very creamy, it has a texture of a balm. You have to rub it a little bit so that it melts properly. The second version of my buttercream is similar to the first one. They pretty much have the same texture. The third version of my buttercream is the one that I'm used to making. The texture is creamy and melts easily on the skin. Also, keep in mind that the texture of your buttercream can also vary depending on the temperature of the environment. Here is the fourth version of my buttercream. It's very creamy and melts very easily. Last but not least, the fifth version of my buttercream is extremely creamy but quite greasy in my opinion, so I would not make that version again, but you might like it. Tell me in the comment section down below which buttercream you like the most and would like to try. Personally, I prefer the versions with 5 and 10 tablespoons of olive oil. I think I would make my next buttercream with 7 tablespoons of olive oil. What do you think? That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe with notifications. See you in the next video.